Hi, I'm Russ with ESBService.com, and in this video we're going to show you how to dismantle the ESB Doorbed for service. This model is a Sunsplash 10 refresh model, but these also come in variants such as the ReNew. It's also been called Elite, like the Elite 10. And this has also been marketed and sold by Dr. Mercola. But these all have the same frame, so the procedure is the same for working on all the different units. If you are finding this video because you're looking to purchase a new doorbed, contact us regarding the new Light Your Way fixture. This unit here has been officially discontinued by the manufacturer. So that being said, in order to start working on this unit first, just like this, you need to have all the lamps removed first. And then you're going to come over to the back side. Most of these units have screws in the back that are covered up by these pieces of Velcro here. So there's 6 screws. If your unit doesn't have that, it doesn't apply. But most units have these screws that hold these side panels in place. And these side panels are where you have all of your electronics. Most all the electronics are on the right side where the timer is. You have your timer, if there's a backup timer, and your relay are in this section of the unit. If there are other ballasts, they would be on this section only. So what I'm going to do is just start out by peeling the Velcro off. This is just to protect the surface behind the unit. Okay. Now, the most important thing when it comes to servicing this unit is only undoing these screws. You'll notice that there are rivets all the way around on the top and the bottom, and you do not drill out the rivets. All you do is you undo the screws. If you undo the rivets, if you drill them out, you're going to have a hard time reassembling the unit, and there's no need to do that. So I'm going to start out here and remove these screws. Okay, all 6 screws are removed, and the side panels are ready to come out. Okay, you're going to need to remove the timer knob. There's 2 screws underneath the knob that will need to, you will at least need to loosen them. If we need to remove them completely, we will, but if we don't have to, we're just going to loosen them. Now, this is really important. You can see this unit has been mishandled a little. this is warped out. It's not bent correctly into position. Sometimes people might get in here and start prying around to try to work on it without dismantling it properly, and then you're going to have that. So we're going to have to try to get this corrected to go back in there properly. But the proper way to get this panel out is to first, what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew these lamp holder plates at the top and the bottom of the unit so we can get some space to pull it inward over here. So there's one screw here, and there's another one here. That's at the foot, and then now we're going to do these two at the head. Now at the bottom of the unit here, I'm going to free this up here. I'm going to move it in towards the other side just to give me some space here. Now carefully, you don't want to bend this metal, but if you can carefully pry it away, it's going to come out. There we go. Now I'm going to pull it out of the top. Just the same. Take this lamp holder plate and move it to the other side, and then there you go. Free it up. And then what you're going to do is, because there's these flanges here in the metal, you can lift it up to go over the lamp holder plate. So I'm going to do it at the bottom here. Everything's pressed in, so it's a tight fit. Okay, so you can see here's your electronics. This is the relay. Here's the backup timer. Here's one ballast. Here's another ballast. Of course, you get the power cord coming in, and then here's your timer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this lamp holder plate, now I'm going to move it to this side, and then see if I can get this one out of the side here. Don't pry really hard. Now you can see here's the two ballasts on this side. 1, 2 ballasts, and that's it. So, what we're going to do is, obviously, this unit has a couple of lamp holders that are burned up. And we're going to replace. Actually, we're going to replace all these lamp holders. I'm going to put these on the side for now. And we're going to start on these lamp holders. You can see that the lamp holders are actually pressed in from the underside. So in order to get the lamp holder out, you're going to need to squeeze these two tabs at the base of the lamp holder like this, and then push them through. Now, when you have the lamp holder out, in order for you to get these wires out, take a paper clip, straightened, and stick it into the same hole that you see the wire going into. And then that will release it. The wire pulls right out. And then if you have an issue with getting it out straight, just give it a twist and it'll come out. Same thing here. take the paper clip and insert it into the hole right next to that wire, and then it pulls right out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the new lamp holder and we're going to push it in from the underside until it clicks. There. And then what we do is we put the wires just like it was. There was one wire on one side and then another wire on the other side. You'll notice on this lamp holder there are actually 4 holes. You don't want to have them both on one side. You want to have one red wire here and the other red wire there. And actually this lamp holder is not shunted, so we will need to shunt it across here and here, and then that would be proper. So this is a jumper wire that I'm going to use to shunt those 2 spots on the lamp holder. So one goes to one side and the other goes to the other side, and then now that lamp holder is properly shunted. So I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of the lamp holders on the bottom and at the top of the unit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep following the same pattern. I'm going to systematically go through, do the next lamp holder and the next one following the same pattern, using the same wiring configuration. And since the lamp holders that I have are not shunted, I'm going to shunt each one of them. Obviously, each one of these lamp holders is already internally electrically shunted. So then we're going to come back when I'm done putting all the new lamp holders in. Okay, so now that the unit is dismantled this far, what I want to show you right now is the different components here and what would be involved in replacing them. Here's, for example, this is a ballast, and there's just simply a nut here with a washer on the one end, and then there's a nut here on the other end. So if you were to replace this, all you would need to do is loosen those nuts, pull the ballast out, and then put the new ballast in its place, and of course do the wire connections just like they are already in the unit. That's a ballast. This right here is the backup timer in the unit. If you need to replace that, that's what you would do is you would just simply, on this nut right here, you just loosen that up and then put the new backup timer in its place, wired just like you see here. The relay right here, same thing. If you need to replace that, you have all your wire connections here, and just put them in the same spot on the new relay. And then lastly, here is your mechanical timer. There's only 2 wire connections on the back, and then 2 screw holes on the front to replace that component right there. And that's pretty much all of the internal components. If you had, like, say, an issue with the power cord, then you would fish the new power cord in through here, and then you would just connect. You see how you got your white wire goes into a terminal block here, and then you got your black wire goes into the other terminal block there. So that's pretty much it with replacing any of the other internal components in the doorbed. All right, so now what I did is I went ahead and I replaced all of the lamp holders at the base and at the head of the unit, and they're all brand new, and I got them wired just like they were before, except now we have all the jumpers for the shunts. Now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to flatten these wires down because we're going to mount the plates again, and we don't want to pinch any of these wires. We got to make sure these wires are all nice and secure. So this plate right here is going to sit about right here. And again, you want to make sure to route, that's the whole part of this job right now, is routing these wires properly and where they're going to be set. So I am just slowly working it back into position where everything was. You have this cutout in this side flange here to allow for the space for the lamp holder plate. But then of course you need to make sure as you're tucking it into the side that none of the wires are going to be pinched. So this up here needs to go more into the top to give us the space that we need down there at the bottom. And then I'm going to come here and try to get it the rest of the way in. There it is. Now, you might be tempted to pull this up, but don't. There's a hem on here, and it'll just click into place when you have it in the right spot. But here, we're going to need to lift it up over these lamp holder sockets to get that side panel back where it needs to be. So here I'm going to work from the top, and I'm going to kind of push the side panel in. It's a little too high right here, so I'm just going to go down there with it. And then again, just kind of squeeze a little bit. And that click is it. That's right in place. That's right where it needs to be. So then I'm going to do the same thing here, where I start up at the top with this panel. And again, I'm making sure there's no wires that are going to be pinched. Now, as I bring it down here, this part will need to come up over. And then also, again, these wires need to be tucked under. So they're routed safely. Okay, so this is going to be roughly in position where it's going to lay. You see, it won't come in here. I don't have enough space, so I'm going to need to go to the top of the unit. And this will give us the space that we need. See right here, it's hung up on this top edge of the flange right there. So I'm going to actually take it and work it in there a little bit more, and then that's going to give us the space that we need down at the bottom of the unit. This is the trick to making it go back together the way that it should. So here, you can see now we have a little bit more space. And then we can start closing the unit off. Again, I'm going to start at the top and gently squeeze into place. Now, you want to be careful in the area of the timer right here. Things can get bunched up, and if you need a little bit of space, there's space in between the face of the timer and the back side of the metal here. So simply loosening these screws just a little bit, not removing them, but just loosening them a little bit, should give you enough space for this flange to tuck underneath where it needs to be. Like that. And then we got to go down to the bottom here and click it the rest of the way in. And that's it. That's really good. Yeah, this looks a little better. You can tell the customer kind of bent it up when they were trying to work on it, but this is better than it was before. And I'm going to go ahead now and tighten those screws down for the timer, which should also help secure the frame a little bit. Do not over tighten these. Just a little bit snug like that is good enough. Now, what we need to do is we need to secure the lamp holder plates again. The lamp holder plates are here, and you can see there are threaded studs underneath that they need to line up to before you tighten it down. And also, before you tighten it down, you want to make sure that there's no wires on the front or back side of the plate that are going to be pinched. So with this screw, I'm going to go into that hole. I'm not going to tighten it all the way until I get this one secure. We're going to do the same thing at the top of the unit. So again, get it into place. Look for the threaded studs that are underneath, and make sure that no wires are being pinched. Everything is where it should be. I'm going to go ahead and screw it down. And then here. Okay, now what we're going to need to do is go to the back side of the unit And we're going to need to put the screws back in to the spots here where we took them out before. Now, these holes need to line up. And it might take a little moving back and forth. I'm grabbing it from the other side and I'm kind of moving it into place and moving it with my hand to get the hole to line up. It probably won't just line up by itself. So you can see I got the hole right here. Take the screw and just a little tighten. That's it. Now I'm going to come over here, and that hole is already aligned. So I'm just going to come over here. That's it, just enough as it needs. And then we're going to do this one right here. Same thing for the bottom three. I'm going to do the center first. It's not aligned. So this is what I'm going to do. This way I can squeeze it from the other side and align it, just like I did the other one. It needs to go that way a little bit, so I'm going to try to pry it just a little bit with the screwdriver. Don't pry too much on these units. Okay, so I can start to see the hole here. There it is. Now there's this one. You're just holding that side pin in place. These screws really are they're really for shipment. The unit shouldn't move around too much when you're using it. So that would be it. Now the unit is reassembled, and all that we should need to do at this point is just put the timer knob back on, plug it in, and then we can test it out. I hope you liked the video. If it was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe.